Okay, my speech is over diabetes. My persuasive speech is over diabetes. Every year there are amputations people have on a regular basis, whether it's toes, feet, limbs, below the knee, above the knee amputations. It's a normal practice in America. There are accidents and freak occurrences that do happen commonly in people's lifestyles, but most of these are due, more than half of these are due to the diabetes in the United States. What I'm going to do in my speech today is just go over the history of diabetes, the cause and effect of diabetes, and also things you can do in your life to affect your lifestyle and prevent diabetes for yourself. To start off with the history, first diabetes was first started being treated with patients in the early 1900s. Over time, they found many different ways to treat this with insulin and diets and health and exercise. This has all been figured out over the times, but the number of diabetes in America is actually growing pretty significantly, and it's mainly affecting my generation. As we get older, the diabetes numbers will explode eventually if things don't change the way they are. So the history of diabetes is, it's been in our country for a long time. Currently, there are 1 million US adults that have diabetes. That's 9.4% of Americans currently have diabetes. And there's another 84.1% that have pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes is pretty much if you don't change your lifestyle within a 5-year span, then you're predicted and foretold that you will become diabetic. So that's a big number of our population, and that's a lot of people that we have here on a regular basis in America that suffer from this disease. The numbers of the number of pre-diabetics and the amount of people, the percentage of people who have diabetes, that study comes from the National Diabetes Statistics Report. With the way the diabetes is going right now in our country, that they say within 25 years of today, there will be from right now, there's 23.1 million people with diabetes, and 25 years from now, there'll be 44.3 million people with diabetes. So that's double, and that's all because of our generation and the habitual things we do, whether it's fast food or unhealthy eating or lack of exercise. That's all due to our generation, and hopefully this speech will persuade you to change that lifestyle and prevent that for yourself. The cost of diabetes also with our generation is going to go from 113 billion to 336 billion in our lifetime, and that'll just be the medication, the things down the road like the amputations, care for the people with the amputations. So between the number of people with diabetes and the amount of money we're about to spend on diabetes in the next 25 years, it is an epidemic problem for our generation. So now that you know a little bit more about the diabetes, let me explain to you how the cause and effect of it is to your body. So what happens is some people are born with type 1 diabetes. This is just hereditary, you can't really control this. Some people form type 2 diabetes. This is from excessive eating, lack of exercise, and obesity. And this causes the body to stop producing the insulin it needs for the blood sugar to go down like it should. So a normal person may eat something for years and they not really have any effects. And then once the diabetes kicks in, if they continue that same diet, it could kill them. So it is it's an adjustment people have to make whenever they find out they have diabetes. If they continue to lead the same lifestyle, it usually goes to death. There's a lot of people that I know with diabetes, and when you ask them, well, hey, what did you do to cause diabetes? Most answers they have is that they weren't aware. They had no idea that they had diabetes. They had no idea that their lifestyle would lead them to this disease. And when you ask them, what would you do differently? They just all tell me that they wish they were aware of diabetes and aware of what they were doing to their body, and they would have made these changes before. So the cause of it is eating like that. The effects are, what it's going to do to the body once you're diagnosed with diabetes is it affects all the nervous system and all the circulatory system. And there's a lot of key parts of your body that are programmed to these things and use these things. Your eyes, for example, a lot of people with diabetes tend to lose their vision in later age with severity. Also, the blood flow of your wounds to like your feet and other parts of your body weaken. And then when you do have sores or ulcers or anything like that the normal person experiences, the body can't heal those wounds. It doesn't get the correct blood flow to there, and so you're not able to heal those wounds. Also, people suffer from neuropathy from diabetes. This is where the blood flow is not strong enough to get there, and so it damages the nerves. Once the nerves are damaged at an ending point like your feet or your legs, that becomes numb. And at that point, what you've done to your body is you've cut off the blood flow to the body to the extremities where you really need it. You've also damaged your nervous system to where when you do have a wound, your body won't recognize that. It won't feel that pain. So what a lot of people end up doing is they end up receiving diabetic foot ulcers due to diabetes. What this does is it opens a wound due to the poor blood flow circulation on the extremities like a foot or toe. And also the people don't feel the wound at first because of the neuropathy. So they usually have an open wound they don't feel. And then as it gets worse and more severe, it becomes infected. And these are all the things that lead to the amputation numbers that we were talking about. And this is a very quick process. This can happen in over a year to the human body, to where you're living a normal lifestyle, to where you're getting your limb or your digits or your feet amputated. And it's one of the main effects of the disease that it can turn to that. Also, for the cause and effects, not for the cause and effects, but for how to stop your diabetes, a lot of people, if they just live lifestyles at an early age, starting at our age right now, and make a couple changes, and this is something they can avoid as overall lifestyle in their elderly age. Most of diabetes is due to lack of exercise. A lot of people in my generation do things on their computer, on their cell phones for entertainment, Xbox, TV. Just a little bit more exercise in your daily routine or your weekly routine causes the metabolism to control these things and helps prevent the diabetes down the road with the glucose in your body and the insulin in your body that's protecting it. Also, obesity is an important thing, but just to choose the right diet and the right lifestyle, like exercise, and that will control obesity and prevent that in your lifestyle. Pretty much when you take care of what you eat, the exercise you do, and the obesity of your weight, then once you're done controlling those things, you've really prevented diabetes in your life. At least statistically, you've done a huge part on your part to prevent diabetes in your lifestyle. So hopefully my persuasive speech gave you a little information on what diabetes is, how it can punish and affect the body when it's not taken care of correctly.